Hey, friends. Welcome back to Two Talking Fools. I am Shaba.
And I'm Kate.
And we have a special treat for you today. We are sitting with our friend here, LeighAnn Ricci, here at the Well House in Somers, Connecticut. So, LeighAnn, just going over a little bit about yourself. You are an RN and a board-certified holistic coach. You are also the owner of Crosswind Collaborative, which helps Christian women go from burnout and self-doubt to confident, resilient, and purpose-driven.
Yes, that is correct. Thank you.
Awesome. Okay, I just want to make sure I had this.
Excellent. Thank
I want to make sure I had this one, guys. So thank you for joining us today on the podcast. It really is an honor for both of us to be sitting here with you. As you know, our podcast is a passion project that we started as two girls who thought that we could dance. Didn't really work out so well.
Awesome.
So we decided to bring our phone calls, our genuine phone calls, to the world, to our listeners.
And here we are.
And here we are at the Well House in Somers, Connecticut today. So, LeighAnn, one of the tough conversations that we've delved into a couple of times on our podcast was the importance of mental health awareness as well as just overall wellness. So we joke around a lot on the podcast, but we also have tough conversations about what it's like to be a woman in today's world, to be a mother. There's so many different moving parts. So for us, when we saw all of the wonderful work you were doing, we're like, oh my goodness graciousness, we need to have you on our podcast because who would know better than somebody like yourself? So again, it's really an honor for us to be here with you today.
We do talk about it a lot. We talk about burnout on the podcast a lot.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I know this isn't our normal setting. Usually we're a little bit in our hoodies, but I think it is incredibly important to bring it to, you know what? Let me just do this. Whoopsie. We're just not that professional. But I do think it's important to bring guests on that have real insight for what people are reaching out to us about.
Oh, yeah.
And one thing I was talking about earlier is just with a coworker is just we're in a lonely generation. It feels like people are lonely. They're missing something. There's gaping holes in their spiritual or how they're living their lives. And it's so noticeable. We hear it from our own listeners. So it's really great to have somebody on that can truly give us insight that will be valuable to people. And also, not for nothing, but we love Stafford. And LeighAnn is an OG. So, I know not everybody that listens or watches is local, but, she's a Stafford girl. So,
we were in the same, 2002, you graduated, I graduated 01.
Okay,
and I graduated in 04.
And then and the thing is, and I'll just take it one step further, is because Shaba's like, Kate, you have to say it. So here's a little, I don't know if I've ever told you this, but the first time I ever, I don't know if it was the first time I ever walked the halls of high school. I'm not sure what the first time I met you. Maybe it was middle school. I literally thought LeighAnn was the coolest person I've ever met in my life. You were friends with my cousin, Sarah. And I was like, I swear to you, I still felt that way. I still feel that way. So it's really nice to be here.
One of my favorite people in the whole world.
Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah. Thank you. Yes. Thank you for having me and being here with me and bringing this conversation forward. So good.
Thank you. Honestly, it's an honor for us. So starting off, can you tell us a little bit about what got you into Christian-based coaching? Can you tell us a little bit about where that started or where that came from?
Yes. So I did women's health nursing for almost 20 years at the hospital. And that was awesome. And I thought I would retire there, wheel me out of there. I love this job so much. But it was getting more and more difficult to take care of the whole person. The protocols were big and things, it was just hard to spend that unique time with each person. So I had left the hospital and found a different path with holistic coaching. And this was able to help me to work with women one-on-one and really help them do deep, lasting transformation of mind, body, soul, and spirit. And I felt like that did more for me. It energized me more than being at the bedside because I could really witness people have lasting transformations. So I got into the Christian faith-based part because about 4 years ago, my husband and I were going through a tough time. I had just lost my mom to COVID and I just didn't know where else to go. So my husband and I, for the first time, walked into a church at the lowest part of our lives. We just didn't know what to do. Alan and I were strivers and we were fighters, and it didn't matter how low we got. We always found a way out. We always could pick ourselves up, but this was a point in my life where I couldn't pick myself up. I was just so low, so depressed, so helpless. What was working before was no longer working. So we walked into a church for the first time, and that just drastically transformed everything. That was January of 2022. So when I became board certified in nursing, it was the world, I could do anything. What would my niche be? Could I do women's health again, or help women with hormones, weight loss? There's so many things for holistic health. But what I found was, when I was working with women, the key that seemed to really unlock a lot of lifelong transformation that just impacted so many facets of their life is helping women really get anchored in their identity and know their true worth, know who they are. And for me as a Christian, that means know who you are in Christ. So for me to bring Christ into my coaching it was a no-brainer.
Yeah.
So.
Oh my goodness.
When you oh yeah, thank you, Shabs.
I gotcha.
When you walked in the church with your husband for the first time, was your love or your belief? Did you have any belief were you a Christian before that?
I consider myself, prior to January 2022, a stick figure believer. So I was very one-dimensional. I knew there was God. I knew there was Jesus. I didn't understand any of it. I remember trying to read scripture and it looking like ancient Hebrew.
Like, what is this?
I couldn't read it. I would read it, but it's the words weren't meaning anything to me. So I was a believer, but I just didn't really understand what walking with Jesus and walking in Christ meant. So it's actually more relational than most people realize. It's not just doctrine. It's not just being obedient and doing, being a good person. It's actually having a spiritual relationship. So for me, that was what shifted, is just walking in there, experiencing the relationship, experiencing the love of God was unlike anything I had experienced. And it took some time. Like anything, it's not like, boom, I know everything there is to know about Jesus. I still don't know everything there is to know about Jesus, but it's kind of like when you meet someone new who you really like something about them, and it leads you to continue the relationship and go back to them. And so for me, it was just learning as I went. And the church that I go to is so amazing at meeting new believers and new people where they're at. So it's not about walking in, oh, you got it all together, perfect, welcome here. It's you walk in, and we were on spiritual life support, Alan and I. Honestly, I say spiritual life support. I mean, if you could see in the spirit, we were on gurneys, bleeding out, barely spiritually alive. And they welcomed us, and they were just so kind and so good to us. And so.
And that's a very vulnerable thing to walk into a space like that.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Anybody in there.
We didn't know anybody.
I mean, that's so overwhelming,
stressful.
I'm sure. A very big step for both of you.
Well, we watched online, and I'll tell anybody this who is thinking about going to a church and they're just I don't know. I don't know the people, what's going to watch it online for a few weeks. That's what we did. We just felt like that. I mean, where I am now is drastically different from 4 years ago. 4 years ago, I never prayed before. I never even prayed before, and to me that sounds crazy because I pray all the time now. But we watched it online 3 or 4 weeks.
This will be an outtake, LeighAnn.
No, we gotta this couch kind of swallows you up, so it's okay. She's just trying to get comfy. I'm it's not you, it's the couch. More pillows. So, I forgot where.
No, you're fine. So you were saying that you never really prayed before, but you guys were watching online.
Oh yeah, so watch online a few times, and then when we went there, we were hand in hand, lay low. We don't want anybody to see
stay in the
us,
back.
stay in the back. We literally were just in the back, and we did. We sat in the back, and we walked in. The first thing they said was, "Oh, is this your first time here?" I was like, "We stick out like a sore." We're trying to be incognito, and they, "Oh, this is your first time here." it's just so welcoming, not in a weird way, but just like, oh, thanks for coming. It's awesome you're here. And of course, one of the pastors came up and was like, hey, nice to meet you. Oh, we're so glad you're here. We're just like, could we be any more obvious that we've never been, to church? But they were so, so sweet. And that was it. It was just like every week, it was just a little bit closer, a little bit closer. We started talking to other people and became our church family.
Wow.
So
I love that for you. Do you want to share which church that is?
River of Life Church in Tallinn.
River of Life in Tallinn? Okay.
Yeah. It's
Shout out to you guys.
Yeah, it's near the Bubble.
Oh yeah, where the dome is.
Yeah.
Okay. I know exactly
it's a
where
great church.
Yeah.
Great church.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yes.
I love that. So you guys, obviously found your home at that point, and there was a lot going on during that period.
Yeah.
What was like the moment in time where you were like, I need to get into the Christian-based coaching? Like you got your board certification, you found your church home. What was like the exact moment in time where you were like, this is it? This is what I want to do?
Yeah, I definitely wavered. I was like, should I lead with faith or should I, maybe just offer it if it's someone's interested? But ultimately, I'm like, no, I'm leading with it because I felt like Jesus had transformed my life so drastically and dramatically. That was the key that I needed. So I felt like I wouldn't be doing my coaching the service that it needed if I didn't lead with what actually helped me. Like, I'm not going to gatekeep that. You know what I mean? So, and with leading with it, it's actually opened the door to so many people just being like, yeah, me too. Or, yeah, I've been curious about that. Or I was wondering about faith. I know, I've gotten lots of confirmation that it was a good option to lead with that and not just kind of be middle of the road or milk toast about it. So, that I'm on fire for it.
Yeah, you're passionate about it.
Yeah.
Well, I guess now is time to share with our friends that I've actually experienced LeighAnn's coaching firsthand myself. I was a little intrigued also. And I will, I do have to say that my experience was absolutely life-changing. I know I need to schedule the second appointment too. I have to schedule my follow-up. But it was absolutely life-changing and very eye-opening. And something I would, like us to discuss too is the distinction between Christian-based life coaching and therapy, because it definitely wasn't a therapy session by any means.
Okay, you felt that.
I did not feel like it was, which was wonderful. But I feel like a lot of the questions you had asked were very much like seeing an overall bigger picture. And, our listeners know that my faith is very important to me, but, there's times where I do struggle. I question a lot of different things, of course, but it was nice to have that conversation with somebody who was looking at it from the outside looking in with no judgment.
Yeah.
So if you guys are looking for just simply a coach, I would definitely suggest you guys trying LeighAnn because, like I said, it was absolutely life-changing.
If somebody wants to take services or with you, does somebody have to be Christian? Do they have to have knowledge first, or can it be something where they come to you and maybe they want to know more about, learning about?
No, they don't have to be anything. They can be exactly where they are. And that's one of the things that I say all the time is like, you are exactly where you're supposed to be right now. Because I would never turn anybody away. It's wherever your heart is postured. If you're open and you're ready for change, I can tell. I can almost smell it from a mile away when someone's hungry for like change. Yeah, we can make that happen. It's all about a heart posture. If you're open and you're hungry and you're ready to receive, I'm ready. I'll meet you where you're at. It's really about progress and not perfection. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't even need to know. Like I say, faith curious. Some people are like, what is this?
Yeah, no.
Because
a lot
I
of
was
people.
faith curious. I was like, what is this? I had family members who were in faith for their whole life, but I still wasn't able to see how powerfully influential and transformative relationship with Jesus was until I was ready to receive it and ready to step in it. You can see people talk about it all the time, but until like you're there and you're ready, I don't think that it'll impact you like it will when you are.
I think that's a good point because I feel like I even fall into that category of people who I know I'm a Christian.
Mhm.
I know I believe in Jesus, but I don't know how much more of that I can tell you. And I was with my husband's family who are all very faith-based Catholics, and I love listening to them because their passion for the Bible and how much it is part of their life
Mhm.
is incredible. And I want to get there. And then so then for instance, you try to read the Bible, or I think maybe I want to. And then I get, you know,
So you're saying you read the scripture and there's like, I just read something that should have been in ancient Greek. I have no idea what that was.
so hard to exactly.
I experienced that too. I experienced that too many years ago. I remember my mom gave me a Bible and it collected more coffee stains, like coffee ring stains, than it did actually opening it. But when I was like, let me see what this is about, and I'd look at it and start reading it, and no good. I couldn't comprehend it. And I can't really understand why that was, other than I know that it is a relationship. You can't force it. It's about a heart posture. For me, I just wanted to see what it was about. But when there's a difference when you're ready and when you're just, you know, doing it because you think you have to.
Right.
The same with Christian music for me. Like, I tried to listen to Christian music for the kids when they were growing up, and I would put it on and I'd be like, oh, like that's awful. Like, I can't even try. But now it's all that I listen to. It's all I listen to. So yeah, I think leaning in, even when it's hard, can help, because actually God will be faithful to your little. So if you read a little bit and if you're patient and you say, God, what was this? And what do you have for me here? He will reveal it to you. It just takes a little bit of time. It's like it's like a relationship,
Yeah.
right? You wouldn't go to, if me and Shana just met, I wouldn't just like tell me everything there is to know about everything. She'd be like, well, hold on. Let me get to know you first. Let's
Right.
have a relationship first. And it's not that he doesn't want you to have that and he doesn't trust you to have that. He just doesn't want it to be too much because he's really gentle. And I say gentle, like he'll reveal what you're ready for at the right time. It's like layers of an onion. Can you relate to that? Like, as you're walking out your faith, there's like little elements of like, oh, I didn't see that before. Well, there's probably a reason that you're seeing it now and you didn't see it before.
I love your your facial expressions.
Yeah,
Um,
what's going on?
No, I love it.
no,
I want more tea.
I definitely hear where you're coming from as far as revealing things in due time. But I like the question that Kate had asked, if somebody had to be faith-based in order to partake of your services. And I'm really happy to hear that you said that they don't. They don't necessarily have to. I think that that's very important too, because sometimes when it comes to anything faith-based, I think
Yeah.
people automatically get turned off because a lot of, what you hear sometimes is, that, well, this is, that's not godly, or that person can't be a Christian because of this, or that person can't be a Christian because of that.
Mm-mm.
And, I don't know. I feel like sometimes it kind of saddens me a little bit because, when I look at it as being a Christian, it's like, that you're human. So you're going to God to ask him for help in, correcting these behaviors and, trying to lead as godly of a life as possible. I always joke around sometimes when I'm talking to you, I'm like, oh my goodness, I gotta go home and pray on that. Or man, I need to get back to church because
I need to go to
church is my therapy. Yeah, we'll definitely talk about that after. But I do like, the fact that you did, say that, especially with our audience, because I feel like a lot of people, sometimes need to hear that, especially when we're talking about something like coaching and, coming to see what it is that you offer, because I was happy to have experienced that both on a personal level, but also to be able to say to our listeners, like, listen, I actually have experienced it firsthand. It ended up being a blessing, just
What
how it
felt
all worked
different
out.
for you?
Well, I've experienced therapy on one hand, and
Yeah.
I think when it comes to therapy, it's very black and white. It's very this way or that, right? This happened oh, well, this happened because of this. And when I was going through like the faith-based coaching with you, like a lot of the conversations we were having at that given time, you were able to answer a lot of questions I had as to, why I was taking certain steps that I was going in a certain direction, right? And for me, it was nice to be able to hear that, because sometimes you need somebody to say, listen, the answers are right here. He is presenting them to you, but you're not seeing it. You know what I mean? It's almost like, somebody not knowing how to bake a cake, right? And so God gives you all of the ingredients and you say, God, I need this cake. Like, I need this cake. Like, what am I going to do? And he's like, listen, I gave you the eggs. I gave you the flour. I gave you everything that you needed. Like, here are the tools to bake the cake. You
Stepping
have to.
out and stepping forward with what he's given you
Exactly.
in obedience. Like, what if I'm
Right.
afraid to bake this cake? What if I burn it? He didn't ask you.
Right.
He didn't ask you for the what ifs. He said, bake the cake.
Right.
So what comes after, the outcome is in his hands. It's not in your hands. He just said, bake a cake.
Exactly. And even if you're somebody who doesn't necessarily believe or, aren't interested, or you have questions, I feel like that still would be something that you would be able to help somebody,
Yes,
as far as your
absolutely.
coaching services too.
Well, because I was there before. So I'm really sensitive to that, because if someone had came to me 5 or 6 years ago, oh, you want to do faith-based coaching? I'd be like, that's not for me. And I would be sure that it wasn't for me, because I wasn't walking that road. But, I think to everything, there is a time and a purpose. And for me, like, everybody is made in the image of God. Everybody. And as Christians, we are called to love one another as we love ourselves. And like, that word love translates to care for one another as we care for ourselves. And so for me, coaching is like helping people learn how to care for themselves best, so that they can then care for others better. Because you want to love, and you want to be a good person, and you want to have good relationships, and you want to have good friendships. But sometimes it's hard because the world is broken and people are hurting and they hurt you. But when, with everybody with their different perspectives and everybody sees things differently, we're called to love. And to, my heart, it's not just about faith-based coaching or holistic coaching or how much I know because I have 20 years of nursing, but it's like, I just want people to experience the heart of Jesus, like what it's like to experience the heart of Jesus. And that's it. I think when you do experience that love and that welcoming and no judgment, I think that's the open door that a lot of people are looking for.
Absolutely. So I do have a question for you. And on one of our most recent episodes, we had mentioned, I don't believe in New Year's resolutions. I like to, it's a little bit off topic, but I'm curious because I want to know what yours would be.
I like this, yeah.
And you know where I'm going with this. So I don't like to do New Year's resolutions because I feel like that's a lot of pressure that people put on themselves quite a bit, which is a great thing to have if you feel like you are going to have a goal set that you can achieve. I like to use words and live by those words throughout the year.
Yeah.
So I didn't do words last year. It was an interesting year for me. So I'm still thinking about what my words for next year are going to be. But the year before that, one of my main words was gratitude.
Yeah.
Live through gratitude, wake up every day with gratitude.
Good word.
What would your word, if you could choose 1 or 2 words for the new year, what would the words be that you would live
That
by?
question's hitting.
I wanted to know.
Question's hitting.
Sorry, guys. Listen, it's off topic. It's off topic, guys. But, we have LeighAnn here. I have to ask her,
Oh, yeah.
I got to ask her.
Especially with where we are.
Yeah.
Getting ready for the new year.
Oh my gosh. It's so funny that you asked that.
It just came to my mind. I'm like, I want to know what her answer is.
Same. I don't have a New Year's resolution. None of that. I got exhausted of that.
Yes.
But my word last year, which I received from the women's ministry at the church, was build, which was so fitting. So 2020, I know, 2025 was build, new coaching business, new, the wellness center, all the build. Yes, that's awesome. So this year going into 2026, the word is preparation. And I know it sounds kind of backwards, but preparation is going to be key for me going into 2026. I don't know what I'm preparing for, but that's the word that the Lord has given me to hang on to this year.
So you've used words?
Oh yeah, I've used words.
I just got chills right now.
Preparation.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Yeah.
I feel it so heavy. I feel it so big. Like the word preparation is something I'm anchoring in. Something. Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that. Sorry.
Well, I know that's important. I know that you use words. I know that you
I try to live by
vision boards.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, I haven't done a vision board in a while, so I'm actually
about doing one of the podcasts.
we did.
I
We
have
really
a-
did, and I'm excited to do that with you.
Super valuable to do a vision board.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm glad
You have
glad
to
you mentioned
see
that
it
too.
before you receive it.
Yeah. I love that.
I've always wanted I've never actually done one, and I didn't know.
Oh, it's so much fun.
I know, but
I'm going to show you. I have mine on my desktop, so I open it and you can see it. So I made it in Canva.
That's what I made
Drag and
mine
drop all the
with
things.
the year before, Canva.
mhm.
Yep.
And then you put it on your desktop, and then every time you open, it's everything. So big deal. It's good. Yeah, I'm all about that for sure. I think it's helpful. It helps you make a mind body connection. You know, when you see something, you can start to believe it, receive it. And I think that's super powerful. That's like part of what I do with people is help people make those mind body connections. There's something to be said. You like people say all the time, I know I'm supposed to do this, or I know I'm supposed to take care of myself. I know I'm not supposed, but I can't seem to stop doing it. I can't seem to do the thing that I'm supposed to do. And it's about learning to walk in it, doing the thing step by step. It helps you build confidence. It helps you to help your body come into agreement with this thing that you want to live in. So like whatever it is, you know, you may get anxiety, public speaking, you may get anxiety, maybe being around people. The key to overcoming that is to not withdraw, like what you had originally talked about, like that isolation culture that we're in. People are feeling disconnected.
yes,
It's to like lean into it.
yes, I
Yeah.
do. Yeah,
And let
We're
that
having this
confidence
conversation.
build. And it's kind of like once you do it, you know, you realize you're okay. You survived it. Your body starts to realize it's safe to be yourself around people. And you just start to transform slowly. So that's what's different about I love therapy. I've been to therapy for years, but for coaching, I feel like it really helps equip people to walk forward, you know, and have that
Yes.
person of accountability, just like a coach would for like a soccer team or whatever. It's just having somebody in your back pocket that's like cheering you on and encouraging. Something we all need.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more with that.
Yeah.
So before we had started this episode, you were gracious enough to give us a tour of this beautiful spot. Again, the Well House in Somers, Connecticut.
Mm.
Can you tell us a little bit about the building and how that came to be? Because this is absolutely a stunning, I mean, it's a stunning
build.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Talk about build. Like, you know, you look at it from the outside, it's a beautiful building, but when you come in, oh my goodness, it's just very light and warm. It's beautiful in here. Can you tell us a little bit about like how you ended up, coming here, like, or building this? Thank you, buddy.
Well, it's actually, you can edit out whatever, but I'll tell you guys. So I don't want to make light of it, but Alan and I are trying to be as obedient as we can be. If the Lord gives us a word, if he tells us to do something, we try to just do it. Because honestly, if you are in alignment with what he says to do, you're going to do good. You're going to be just fine. So we were at a graduation party in May, and I'm always on Redfin, the real estate thing. I'm always looking at real estate.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, there's this place in Summers. And we ended up coming right after the party to look at it. I'm like, this place is so nice. Like, I don't know. I just feel something about this place is really neat. We should look at it. So we looked at it, loved it, walked around it, didn't know. I knew my coaching business would be in here, but didn't really know what the big picture was going to be. And we opted to do an offer. We got, went through. We didn't know what we were going to do with this place. So I don't even know if this is like okay to say, but right up until the closing, we met with our pastors and I'm like, but I feel like I had this sense that Jesus was like, just get in there and I'll tell you what to do. I had this sense like, just get in there and I'll tell you. And so I had a little bit of peace about it. I'm like, okay, we're just going to get in there. It's a big deal, right? Like getting a building,
This
like
is huge. Yeah.
it's a big deal. Like we didn't really know, but sure enough, closed, signed the papers within 24 hours. This is going to be a wellness center. The whole place, it's going to be a faith-based wellness center. We're going to have other practitioners, massage therapists, small groups. And it was like, I didn't have to think about it anymore. Like it was just like that. We knew exactly what we were going to do. So we closed in August and then we've just been furnishing it and planning and making plans and figuring it out.
You closed in August and it looks the way it does today.
Been busy bees. Very
That is
busy.
Okay, and we felt we were busy at the clubhouse.
Oh, I'm like, my goodness, we're in the minor leagues. Now, as
No.
far as the spots that have in here available, I know you were sharing with us a little bit about what a collaborative is. Can you tell us a little bit about the different spaces that you offer and who could possibly practice here if they, so choose to?
Mm-hmm. One thing we're so excited about is there are so many options here. We've got 2 or 3 just one-on-one therapy rooms, family counseling, marriage and family counseling. We have a massage therapy room, which you guys saw was like super cozy and like just,
It's nice.
very aesthetic. I really am so excited about the small group spaces. So this is one of the small group spaces. So
Love it.
counselors, therapists, practitioners, holistic wellness providers can bring, have a workshop here, whatever they, something that is not always offered at a lot of other office spaces. We have another small group room, which you saw, the more masculine one. So our hope is to have counselors and therapists, practitioners, nurse practitioners, anybody who has a heart for holistic healing to come in here and to, bring their private practice in here. So they get to operate their private practice how they want to operate it, but they get to do it from a space that is aligned and sacred, community driven, like talk about the connection, bringing people in. What's also awesome, what we're doing now or what the plan is now when this room isn't being used before and after sessions, people can just come in here and have like a cup of tea and they can just relax. They can look at the book nook and they can bring their books down here. So it's just like a really whole person experience where you're not rushed out because in therapy, when we went through therapy, you show up and it's nothing against therapy, but even if you go to a doctor's appointment, you
Right.
show up, you sit in the little chair like you're waiting for a bus. You go in the little room, you get your care and then you go home, but there's no transition. So for me, that what I work with my clients a lot is to encourage them to pay attention to transitions, to not just go boom, 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 to slow down and shift, maybe even taking a deep breath or taking a mindful moment, mind to just reset so that you just don't leave parts of you everywhere throughout the day so that everywhere you go, you feel like you're a whole person.
Great idea.
I love this.
Yeah.
I love this spot too. You definitely melt into it, which I know Kate will be using that clip at some point.
But yeah, so
Now, if somebody wanted to set up an appointment with you, how would they go about doing that?
well, with coaching, actually, I do programs. My program's a 4-month program to start, and I do that for a reason. There's something to be said about the commitment on both sides. So if you sign up with me, we work together. I'm 100% committed.
Mhm.
You have me basically in your back pocket. You can text me 24/6. Like the only day, Sunday, I'm probably not going to get back to you. But, I use an app. It's on Practice Better where we're in touch 3, 4 times a week. I have a whole online program that I created. It's literally everything that I did to come out of my brokenness to be able to walk in confidence and like listen to what God's telling me to do and be like, okay, that's scary, but I'm going to do it. Like I can do it. So what people can do is they can sign up for like a conversation, kind of like what we had.
Yep.
And that's how we can tell if it's a good fit or not, because sometimes it's not a good fit. Some people think they want change and they think that they're ready, but when it comes down to the commitment, it's like, maybe later, I'll look you up later. So I think it's important to have that initial conversation just to make sure that we gel
Absolutely.
and it's a good fit.
Absolutely.
So they can do that on my website. It's free, like 15 to 45 minutes. I think we spoke for like an hour, but we knew each other. So
Yeah. And then can you tell them the website?
www.crosswindscollab.com.
You guys heard that right. www.crosswindscollab.com.
Yes, it's really easy to sign up for a session. You just click the button that says connect with LeighAnn and you can just plug in whatever time and date works for you.
Now, you also have some pages that I absolutely love the positive information that you put out every day, whether it's a scripture or the engagement that you do with your followers. Can you share with them those pages?
Yeah, so I'm on Facebook, and you just have to look up LeighAnn Ricci.
RICCI?
Yeah. I don't know if that's the URL on Facebook.
We can post it.
Okay.
Yeah,
And then Instagram, I'm having like so much fun on Instagram lately. Like I really am. So that would be fun to meet some people there. But it's LeighAnn Ricci, at LeighAnn Ricci on Instagram. So
awesome.
so you can find me.
You guys
And
heard
then
it
if you
first.
do go on Facebook, I will probably invite you to the Made for More group, which you're in.
Yep. I
which
love
is
that.
the free Facebook group where I share more stuff. We go live in prayer.
And I like the questions that you ask too, because they're thought provoking. I like that.
Yeah. So
awesome. Any questions, Bunny? Any questions or comments?
Thank you. No, I think it's especially the grief aspect of things too. I think, well, obviously people need to be ready to accept what they can get by working with you. They have to be ready for that. But we have a lot of listeners that are going through that season of grief. And I don't think a lot of people know how to handle it, especially especially like when you lose a parent. I've unfortunately lost a parent. It's different. And I think that's great to know that there's a resource available. And I also think too, like, not to get too deep, or it's not geared towards anyone either, but a lot of times people go towards substances and things like that.
yeah.
I think it's a real conversation to have, especially when you don't feel like there are resources available or nobody understands you or this is the easiest way to heal. And I think it's important to know that there are outlets for it when you're truly ready to heal.
Well, like I did say, when you're ready to receive and all that, but change is like a continuum. Like there are periods of your life, and you probably can reflect on this, where I've had like explosions of change and growth. And then there were periods where I felt stagnant, like what's going on? But it's not sustainable to be in like this, like upward trajectory all the time. You need to stabilize. So like someone may not be ready to jump into a 4-month program with me, but there's in scripture, they talk about planting seeds, until the soil is fertile. So even spending 30 minutes talking with me may plant the seeds that there is more for you. And even if you say, no, I'm not interested, I believe in faith that the seeds that are planted will be harvested down the road. Someday there will be a moment where they're like, maybe I really should do that. Maybe I should invest in myself. Maybe I'm worth taking care of for once, because I take care of everyone else. I deserve that same care. So I think being ready is on a continuum. It depends what you're ready for. But I don't know. I'm just happy to work with people whenever they're willing and ready. Like people will come in off the street here and we'll have like these long conversations that are amazing. And I think people just want to feel heard and they want to be seen. And part of coaching and what I do is creating like a safe space, a container, so you can just be you, not judge, not feel like you're getting advice. Nobody really wants advice. They want to just be heard. They want to know that they're seen and validated. And usually most people know what they need. They just need a space to be able to say it and feel safe enough to say it. I really believe that. And my sober story. So you were talking about substances and grief. So my husband and I have been sober, alcohol free since March of 2022. So I lost my mom in January. And my husband and I used to go out and drink and party on the weekends, like prior to January. But that's what we used to do. We were, older and no big deal. But when my mom passed away, I felt like I was drinking more and more heavy. Like in the evenings, I would find myself like, oh, I'll have a glass of whiskey. It turned into 2 glasses of whiskey. And until one night, I noticed that I felt sad. And my instinct was to look to the bottle, to look to the whiskey. And that actually scared me because alcoholism is so prevalent. And there's evidence that says that when you turn to substances during a really low period in your life, you're more likely to become addicted because your brain sees it as something that worked. And so your brain likes things that work and that are easy. And so we just stopped drinking in March of 2022, and it's been great. Like, we don't worry about it, you know?
Life is great. Nothing really ever good comes from alcohol.
No, it
It
does
really
not.
doesn't. And never mind, I always talk about, just even now I've cut way back, and even one drink can make me incredibly depressed the next day. It's just not worth it anymore.
Mm,
It's just not worth it. But yeah, that's amazing.
yeah. Not everybody's story is the same too. There's no condemnation for anyone who is drinking or feels like it's the right thing. Like, they're fine. My story is not your story. I would never be like, "Oh, well, I don't drink, so you shouldn't drink." It's just really what was revealed to me in that moment. Like, you can't lean on this right now because you could get hooked. And so I was like, no more. And for me, that was the answer, just to say no. So,
This has been amazing. Thank you so much for having us.
thank you.
Thank you.
Hi,
Thank you.
for everything. It's incredible.
And whether you're following us and listening to the podcast or you're watching a clip, we will provide the links so that you guys can follow LeighAnn, book an appointment with her on our page. Till next time, friends.
Okay.